was telegraphed all the way back to Chicago. Oh, the place hasn't changed much. Out north, there's where the big doings are. Only hoopla, you might say. But here in town, we're much the same. Just as dry and rocky as it ever was. But enough about that. You're wanting to hear the story now, aren't you? Hey, Mom, come on out here. We got company.
I do declare, Joe, we seem to be having a heap of visitors these days. Mercy me, what a passel of folks y'all are. They're all here to hear the story.
I reckon so.
So, do you think?
Oh, what? Do we have to start that again?
Josephine, just tell me.
Well, used to be about half of them.
So I figure half of the half is done married.
Probably.
Then, half of the half ought to be youngins or old.
Used to be.
So, a half of the half of the half that's left ought to be pretty good pickings.
Looks that way.
Yes, sir, Bob.
But, Mom.
Josephine, if you are referring to that young man that's been hanging around, I'll have you know that he has not popped the question yet. So you are still on the market. If you would make an effort to fix yourself up, you might be married with a family by now. Instead, you spend your days in this store and your nights reading books. I need to know that you are taken care of, and neither of us is getting any younger. Ooh. Well now, you folks make yourselves to home and Jo will tell you all about it. She's a mighty fine storyteller, and can bake an apple pie that will melt in your mouth.
Mom, here's a story, not matchmaking.
I just think they should know that your apple pie won the ribbon at the county fair.
Please excuse Mom, folks. Her heart's in the right place. Now the story. It was a hot summer day here in Frog Hollow, as most of our days are. But the town had just lost one of its founding citizens, Big Dan Howard. That's what we call him, Big Chubby Dan. He was a mountain of a man, both physically and in the size of his character and heart. Why, you just couldn't find a dearer soul in these parts.
Near as old Doc could tell, he must have fallen off his horse and hit his head on a rock while he was out checking the herd and riding the fence. It sure came as quite a shock to all of us, him being found out on the range that way, leaving poor Mattie Pearl with the youngin'.
Thank you all for coming. Can't tell you how much this means to us.
Miss Howard, I'm speaking for all of us when I can say you and yours can feel free to call any of us. If you have any, Big Dan was a blessing and a big help. There's not one of us who hasn't known your family's kindness out of time.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you, my dear friends. I can't say how we could get on without you folks.
My condolences, Widow Howard.
Mr. Hornswoggle?
You are acquainted with my clerk, Felix.
Yes, Mr. Farnsworth.
My condolences, Mrs. Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Farnsworth.
I don't mean to bring up business at such a time, Mrs. Howard, but Big Dan had quite a large debt at the bank, and with him gone, well, you realize I have a responsibility to our depositors and shareholders to ask how you plan to pay.
You're right, Mr. Hornswoggle. This is not time nor place to discuss the matter. However, I can assure you, my son and I plan to act just as we have.
Now, I don't mean to be rude. I realize that you haven't had time to take in all that's happened of late. I just want you to know that if you wish to liquidate your assets and return each with your family, the bank will do all it can to assist you.
Now, why would I want to do that?
Well, now, this harsh prairie is no place for a woman alone. And we all know that Rube here is headed to school at the end of the summer. What would you do out there on that ranch, all alone? It's dangerous out there, Mrs. Howard, and I would hate to see anything happen to you or your young son.
Thank you for your concern, Mr. Hornswoggle. But Dan and I homestead the barge, built it on our own sweat and prayers, and I plan to stay right there. Dan always said that the Lord led him to that land and he had a plan for us. He called it our little piece of heaven. Now, I just buried him in that land, and I choose to believe as he did. I also believe that our Heavenly Father will take care of us just fine out on the barge.
Yes, of course. As I said, I have no intention of being rude or causing stress at this difficult time. If I can help in any way, please don't hesitate to call upon me.
I bet he helped himself to our ranch. You know he's up to something. Boy, I just love to catch him out in the canyon someday.
Now, Ruth, you know your brother would not have approved of that kind of attitude.
I know how he looks at you, and I don't like it. None at all. I think I've got to put off my schooling and stay here and help look after things. Hornswoggle was right about one thing. The prairie is no place for a woman alone.
She won't be alone. I'll be there.
I know, little guy, and you do a good job, but there are other things going on here.
Now, that's the last thing I want. You know your brother always wanted you to get an education and make something of yourself. You must go to school, Ruth. You can't give up on your dream. You only have 1 year to go. Dan Jr. and I will be just fine. You know our Big Dan had planned, and that will be the smaller herd winner. You'll be back in time for the big work before the summer.
But what about Homeschool in the bank? You know he won't wait a minute past the due time for your mortgage payment. He's always wanted that ranch, and I just know that dirty rat is going to try and force you off the bar age.
You know what Big Dan always said at times like this? The Lord will provide, seldom early, but never late, just in his time. You're the man of the house now, Ruth. It's time for you to take up where he left off.
I know you're right, but I sure wish I had a little bit more of his faith right now. I just miss Chubby Dan so much. He always knew what to say and do. I just don't know if I'm ready.
None of us ever seem to be ready when God calls upon us. But he promised that we will be when we need to be. You just need to give yourself time to trust our Heavenly Father to lead you. Now, we're all tired and we have a lot. Let's go.
God will work things out.
Trust our Father. Felix, what do you know about the Bar H herd?
Well, sir, I've heard it's grown quite well the last few years. Spring calving went smooth, and they even rode out that late blizzard a lot better than most ranchers around here.
Prosperity breeds carelessness. Felix, send for Mercy Jane and have her meet me at the usual spot tonight.
Yes, sir, but
Must you announce my business to the entire county?
sorry, sir, whispering ain't my strong suit.
Apparently neither is thinking. Just send the message.
Yes, sir, should I tell her you'll be wearing the disguise?
What disguise?
The one where you pretend not to be sneaking around.
One day I shall hire a competent assistant.
Yes, sir, should I start working now?
Get back to work!
Yes, sir.
Well, folks, Maddie Pearl was right. The Howards did have a lot to think about. And Rube was right. Hornswoggle wasn't to be trusted. But was Dan Jr. right? Would things work out? I remember that day, the one that started it all off.
Howdy, Miss Howard.
Morning, Sheriff.
Morning, Miss Howard. How are things out at the ranch?
Just fine. We're looking forward to the roundup. I'll be expecting a party afterwards on Saturday night.
I'll be there. I don't know anybody who can pass up your grudge.
In that case, I better plan on frying up the whole hen house. I do wish it could be more, though. The roundup is so much work, and everyone insists on helping. Throwing a party at the ranch is the least we can do.
Now, don't you worry about that. How many times did your dad roll up his sleeves when one of us needed help? Now, is Rube ready to head back to school?
He's getting that way. He says he'll go as soon as the beef are sold. Dan Jr. and I had our hands full, convincing him that we'll be fine while he's gone. I mean, for goodness sakes, it's 1889. You'd think there would be Indians on the warpath or something.
It'll be tough for him. He sees himself as a man of the house.
I know, and we'll miss him. But when he gets back next summer, it'll be for good. Well, I better get off the shopping. See you at the party, Sheriff.
Maddie Pearl Howard.
Mrs. Crump, how are you?
Marvelous. Simply marvelous, my dear.
I see you out early today. Thinking of taking on Miss Annie again.
Now, madam, don't try to stand in my way. She'll not withstand me forever. We simply cannot be attacked of the 20th century and have that sort of business on Main Street. Why, it's unseemly.
I understand how you feel, Mrs. Crump, but is picketing the best way?
As a founding member of this community, you are going to stand up for that woman and that sort of business. As a mother, I would think you wouldn't want dear little Dan Jr. exposed to that. And don't think I don't know about your tricks for morning tea with those ladies.
I'm just trying to get to know them better. They are part of our town, you know. Besides, Annie's been closing early on Saturday nights. She donated the word for the new church, even paid to have it shipped in on the train from St. Louis.
I still don't know how you got Parson Beasley to accept it, and in the Lord's house. But be that as it may, Maddie Pearl, we still cannot have this sort of business in town. It draws in his awful drifters and miners. I intend to stand up for goodness and morality. Excuse me.
Morning, Miss Collins, Miss Joe.
Morning, Miss Maddie. Looks like it's gonna be another hot one.
Yes, it does.
I see that Mrs. Crump is out on the maneuvers early today.
You two just hold it right there, or I'll hold you both in. Mrs. Crump, I understand your desire to do the Lord's work, but I cannot allow you to interfere with the legal business. Miss Annie has a right to be here.
Sheriff, I demand that you arrest that woman. She has assaulted me. Assault? Get out of my way, Sheriff, and I'll show her an assault!
Now just settle down a minute. I'll handle this. Mrs. Crump, we have talked about this. While you do have a right to express your opinion here, you do not have one to cause a ruckus. Now, there's a city council meeting tonight. If you wish to discuss it with them, you're welcome to. But we aren't going to continue this every Tuesday morning.
City Council, don't you fret, Sheriff. I'll be there. And may I remind you and your council that I will not forget this come election time. Why, when my Norman, God rest him, was alive, we had law and order. Law and order. Well, I may lose this battle. The war is yet before me. I shall yet be victorious. Forward!
Sorry about that, Miss Annie.
You know, one of these days, you're not going to be here when she shows up. Do you know what she said? Said this place was a brothel! A brothel! Now, Sheriff, do I sell a few drinks, play a few games of cards, and sure, my girls provide a bit of conversation. But I don't allow any of that sort to go on here. The upstairs is strictly off limits.
I realize that, but I can't keep her off the streets, just with the law.
Just because she's Ida Mae Crump, the richest woman in this town, doesn't give her the right to interfere with me. I run an honest business here, Sheriff. Plus, it's not like there are a lot of other career opportunities out here in the West. Well, especially for a woman if she was married. Now, if that were the case...
I reckon I better be leaving now.
Well, howdy there, stranger.
Good morning, ma'am.
Name is Joe Collins. This here's my mom, Mrs. Collins.
Ma'am.
We don't get very many visitors here in Frog Hollow unless they're lost. Are you lost, mister?
Perhaps. My name is James Nairmore. This is my first visit out west.
You ain't looking to put down roots, are ya?
Well, now, I don't know about that, but I thought I'd have a look around.
Now, where are my manners? This here is Miss Maddie Pearl Howard. She owns the Bar H Ranch right outside of town.
Ma'am.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Nairmore. Quite a pack you have there, Jim. Are you going prospecting?
Prospect.
That's what most strangers in these parts come for. There ain't no gold in them darn wells.
Didn't I pass a mine just outside town?
That'd be Hornswoggle's lost fortune mine.
Lost fortune. I thought it was a gold mine.
Ain't found a single nugget since he broke ground. The old horse keeps a digging. He does a pretty good business in the salt they bring up.
The only thing around here is solid rocks. We got plenty of both.
Well, that should suit me just fine. I'm here to find some rocks. Could you folks tell me where I could hire a mule?
Just down the street at the livery stable. Sam should be able to take you up.
Thank you kindly, ma'am. Now, if you ladies put these things together for me, I'll be back shortly.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Now, what do you think he's up to?
Looks like he's planning on spending some time on the prairie. Flour, sugar, coffee, bacon.
Now, why do you want to go all the way out there just to look at plain old rocks?
Not sure, but it seems a nice store.
Well, I'd better be getting on home. Dan Jr. and Rick will be wondering where I've got to.
Give them a regards.
Any messages for Rue?
Just tell him tomorrow's my bacon day.
Let's expect him then.
Good morning, Miss Joe, Miss Collins.
Morning, Sheriff.
Did I see someone new in town?
Yes, sir. New fella named Nairmore. Came in on the train. Says he's here to look around. First visit out west.
Did he say what his business was?
Nope. Just looking around.
I don't mind. He can look all he wants as long as he don't overlook my Josephine.
Looking around, huh? Think he's hooked up with Hornswoggle.
Couldn't say, Sheriff. Just asked where he could hire a mule.
Another prospector.
I don't think so. He didn't act like he cared about gold. It's about the rocks. Says he was here to look at the rocks.
Cross. got plenty of them to keep him occupied. Just so long as he's not another minor for Hornswoggle's soul line. Been a few coming around, and I just don't know about some of them. Here comes a peck of trouble now.
You mean Mercy, Jane, and Cleo? They're harmless. They've been in these parts since they was kids.
Harmless, probably, but ornery nuisances nonetheless. You know, I had to pull them off the Wells Fargo stage the other day. Bill said they tried to hold him up out at Fisher's Pass. He hauled them in with Junior holding his dummy barrel.
Holding up the stage. What way they're moving up in the world.
This is no laughing matter, Mrs. Collins. Mercy Jane's got that old revolver her daddy left her, and you know it's so rusted it wouldn't fire a shot if their lives depended on it. Someday it just might. One of these days it won't be old Bill and Junior out of the canyon.
You're right. Well, what did you do with them?
Locked them up for a couple of days for threatening with a loaded weapon. That was a stretch. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. They're calling themselves the Kentucky Gang.
Can't help you there, Sheriff. But Fisher's Pass is quite a ways outside of town, and neither of them have a horse. What were they doing out there to begin with?
I don't rightly know. That's been bugging me too. They've been doing a lot more skulking around on the prairie than usual this summer.
And you know, that's the same part of the county as the Howard place.
Believe me, I've thought about that. It's no mystery that Hornswoggle would like to get his hands on that place, by hook or by crook.
Have you seen the way he's been eyeing Miss Howard? Gives me shivers.
I have noticed that he and Felix have been taking to going to church every Sunday, sitting across from the Howard field. I'm not of the mind that old wars are there to find salvation.
Well, looks like you got your work cut out for you, my boy.
And speaking of the scoundrel, there's something cooking over the bank.
Have you been keeping up with my instructions?
Yes, sir. Me and Cleo's been out watching lender accounts every day.
Good. Now, how many would you say that there were?
Well, now let me see that we,
Come on, spit it out.
Well, sir, see, me and Cleo here, but we don't do so good at counting and ciphering and stuff. It just we're the best subject in school. We didn't go to school, Mercy Jane. Hush, Cleo, I'm handling this. Now, as of a second, there's quite a few of them. And, well, sir.
Mr. Hornswoggle, sir, I believe I heard Ruth Howard talking the other day, and he mentioned they're expecting about 600 head to ship this year.
Really? Felix, how much do you figure that herd to be worth?
More than enough for the mortgage, sir.
Felix, what do you say to investing in the cattle business?
Cattle, sir? Now, sir? This late in the year, sir?
Yes, I feel the need to expand my business. This is cattle country, and we should be involved in the business of the community.
But wouldn't it be better to start in the spring and build a herd? I don't see much profit for you this close to roundup time.
Felix, relax, all in good time, my man. Now, you and Cleo keep an eye on the Howard place. I want to know every time that herd is left unguarded.
Yes, sir.
And while you're at it, find out who that young man was who just passed town headed for delivery. I'd like to know who's in my town.
Yes, sir.
What are you thinking, sir? Cattle rustling? That would be against the law.
Cattle rustling? Why, I'm surprised you would think of such a thing. I am just keeping an eye out for my neighbor. Free-range cattle can be difficult to manage, and with poor Rube out there trying to do it all. Surely you don't think I would do anything illegal. Now, what do you think of the double H as my new friend? Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Mr. Hornswoggle. I see you're just talking with Mercy Jane and Cleo.
Why, yes, they are my employees.
Well, your employees have been getting themselves into a bit of trouble lately. How much work are they doing for you? Perhaps you should keep them busy.
Now, Sheriff, what my men choose to do with their free time is up to them. Surely you don't expect me to keep up with all their activities. I am hardly their father.
No, sir, you ain't. But I'm wondering why they're spending so much time away from the mine, out north of town.
Why, they're scouting some possible investment property for me.
Investment property? There's nothing out there but empty ground in the Howard place. You ain't planning to make any trouble for the Howard, are you?
Trouble? Why, Sheriff, you move. Have I not been a law-abiding citizen and pillar of this community for many years?
You've been here quite a while, Mr. but I'm watching you. You might only have to stand and intimidate the other half. Neither one includes me. Good day.
Well, he certainly talks big.
He's right. We don't own him. And we do only own half of this town. I think that should change, don't you?
Looks like you and the nerd are getting well acquainted.
Spend enough time with it, it starts telling you things. Right now, it's telling me I should have worn tougher pants.
Thought that's how you're sitting on Bar H land.
Well then, I reckon I owe you an apology. I guess my maps are as accurate as your fences. Didn't mean to trespass.
Now hold on, I didn't say you had to leave. I'd just like to know who's wandering around my ranch.
Much obliged. I've taken a liking to this spot. Most folks like to look for their treasure in the creek, but I've always preferred the dry ground.
Yes, most prospectors do head straight for the creeks.
I like to ask the land questions first. Keeps me from getting my boots wet for no reason. What brings you out this way?
I was just out riding. My late husband used to say, if I wasn't at home, I was probably on a horse somewhere.
There is something about being in the saddle that clears your head.
I hope you don't think me too forward, but we don't get many folks from back east.
I stand out that much, do I? Even with all this dust on me? What makes you think that's where I'm from?
Town talk. Folks are curious who you are and what you're doing here.
Small towns don't miss much. Back in Ohio, a man can disappear. Here, I'm the latest thing since the last rain.
You seem used to that.
Names change, but people don't. Myself, I'm from Columbus. Have you ever heard of it?
Of course. I used to teach school here. My brother-in-law hopes to attend that agricultural college in Kansas.
Ah, Kansas State. I've heard of it. They're doing a good work there. It's good that people see signs catching them. Hard work.
He wants to study veterinary work. Not many animal doctors around here.
Sounds like good timing. Ranching is changing. It's become less of a gamble, more of a science.
My late husband, Dan, used to say the same thing. What with the train coming in, people need better cattle, not just bigger herds.
He wasn't wrong, you know. That train brings a lot of noise, Miss Howard, but it brings a lot of opportunity as well.
Change moves slow in Frog Hollow. I don't mind that much.
Neither do I. I moved here to get away from the clocks and schedules.
Keeping the ranch going keeps me busy and stubborn. Hornswoggle still thinks he can run me off.
Sounds like he doesn't know you very well.
Probably not.
From where I'm standing, it looks like you've got deep roots in this land.
Well, I reckon I've kept you long enough. I hope to find what you're looking for.
Me too. I'll see you around.
Come up to the ranch Saturday night if you'd like. Pick out the dance after the roundup. Whole town will be there. Might come with something new to gossip about.
Is that an invitation or a warning?
Maybe both. Till Saturday.
So then.
Cleo, where is she? She's always wandering around. Cleo! Here is where's Jay? How many times have I told you not to do that? I swear I have my hands full of it. If I hadn't promised mine, take care of you. And I done told you don't be calling me Mercy Jane. What's I supposed to call you? Just plain Jane. You know, like Calamity Jane. Who's that? Never mind, I ain't got time to explain it to you. Where you been? Seeing Tom. Tom? At the liquor stable. Cleo, we ain't got time for you to be checking on that pet in the doors. Sergeant Secret Calamity Jane. Cleo, get down to business. I noticed this job by convincing Mr. Hornswoggle there was 2 desperate criminals from the Badlands. That we can handle this job. I mean, we's as crooked as a bad time. Jane. What is it? We's not from the Badlands. We's from the south side of Old Rock Hollow. Cleo, desperate criminals don't come from the wrong side of the tracks. Desperate criminals come from the Badlands. Badlands. Now remember, these are the Kentucky gang. The baddest gang in Frog Hollow. We've done time for robbing the stage. The Wells Fargo. Jane. The most feared desperados north of the Pecos. Jane. What now? We's only 2, and that's not enough for a gang. When'd you learn yourself to add? And Bill and Jimmy didn't give us none, so that don't count as robbing. Cleo, you're missing a point, as usual. We've finally got us some jail time. That's big in the criminal world. And get your head on straight. Now, we gotta sneak in there and find out who that there fella is and what he's up to. We could ask him! Cleo, we ain't just gonna walk him and ask him. Why not? Well, because we ain't. We're just sneaking. Cleo, you find out anything? He can't make coffee. Forget that. Something we can do. I don't think you can do that coffee for nothing.
we best be moving on.
Seems you's right, sir. We be moving on now. Come on, Cleo. Thank you for the coffee, mister. Ma said it's always nice saying thank you, even if our folks here don't necessarily agree with you. Cleo, gotta go now. Bye-bye. Now, let me do all the talking here.
Who's there?
What's that, the Kentucky game?
I'll get Mr. Hornswoggle.
Well, what do you have for me?
We checked out that there young feller just like you said, Mr. Hornswoggle, sir.
And?
I don't really know. He didn't have nothing that made sense.
What do you mean?
Well, all we found was just a bunch of books and papers, and he's been drawing pictures of the ground.
Of the ground?
Mm-hmm. And lots of measuring and figuring.
Anything else?
He can't make coffee.
These culinary skills are of no interest to me. Thank you. You have been of great service to me.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Hornswoggle, sir. If and we can ever be of service again, you know where to find us.
Pictures and measurements of the ground. How interesting.
What do you think it means, sir?
It means it's time to put the rest of my plan into action. Felix, send for Buck Larson to have him bring them in from the mines. Tell them to bring their horses and ropes. It's roundup time.
Jim, I'm glad you could make it.
Looks like on quite a spread here.
We're expecting Reuben and the men to be back any minute. This would be the perfect time for you to get to know some of the townsfolk.
I'm looking forward to it. Was paid a visit by a couple of your colorful town folk the other night. What can you tell me about those two?
Mercy, Jane, and Cleo. They like to think of themselves as notorious. But mostly they keep Sheriff Newton on his toes, pulling them out of whatever they got themselves into. What did you catch them at?
Sneaking around in the dark and pawing through my stuff.
That sounds a bit more serious than the usual hijinks. What were they looking for?
I don't really know. I don't have anything about you with me.
Well, I'd keep an eye on them if I were you. Jim, I'd like to introduce you to my son, Daniel Howard Jr.
Pleased to meet you, young man.
Dan, this is Mr. James Nairmore, the young man I've been telling you about that's been prospecting up on the ridge.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Nairmore. Do you think you'll find gold on those there hills?
I don't know that I'll find any gold, Dan, but I would like to talk to your mother about some things that could be helpful when you have time.
I'm sure I can make a few minutes for you in the morning if that would be soon enough.
I sure appreciate it, ma'am.
Jim, there's a barrel of apple cider down in the cellar that we need for the party. Would you mind helping Dan Jr. bring it up?
Of course. Lead the way.
Mrs. Howard,
Mr. Farnsworth, welcome to the party. Is something the matter?
I'm afraid Mr. Hornswoggle let his ambitions to get too much for him. And I'm afraid he's gone and done something awful.
What do you mean?
Good evening, Mrs. Howard. Felix, did you forget our covered dish for the party? We're not to the buggy and get it. You must excuse Felix. I don't know what's gotten into him lately. He's been so nervous.
Really, Mr. Hornswoggle, I'm a bit concerned about him. He seemed he had something he wanted to tell me.
Oh, you know how he gets when there's a social occasion in town. Just doesn't know how to handle himself around women folk.
Unlike yourself.
Why, I do believe we understand each other. True, I'm a bachelor of many years, but lately I've come to review my place in life and the lack of someone to share my accomplishments with. I have done well here in Frog Hollow, and am in what one might call a financially comfortable position. I think it's high time that I marry.
Mr. Hornswoggle, you do make quite a case for yourself. I'm sure for some lucky woman you would be a prize catch. In fact, you're right. Tonight would be the perfect time for you to find just the right lady. Mrs. Crump. What a lovely dress you're wearing this evening. Don't you think so, Mr. Hornswoggle?
Oh, yes, of course.
Why, thank you, Mr. Hornswoggle. You're looking quite handsome yourself this evening. Now, I do hope the men arrive soon, don't you? I'm so looking forward to this evening.
Oh, yes, of course.
Now, Mr. Hornswoggle, I do love to dance, don't you? You, of course, will say what for me.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes. Now, it is quite warm this evening. Come, join me for a second.
I'm so glad you and the girls decided to join us tonight, Miss Annie.
Are you sure you aren't making trouble for yourself with the other townswomen by us being here?
Don't say that. You are just as much our guests as they are. Now, have you given any more thought to our conversation of the other day?
Well, sure. I'd like to have a different business than drinking and gambling, but
I just don't think old Hornswoggle will go for it. Hornswoggle? What does he have to do with it?
He owns my building and is a silent partner. I mentioned wanting to change a few things, and well, let's just say he's reminding me of his position. Wait, I'm surprised he let us call down tonight. He likes to have a place for his miners to go and blow off his steam. I've got to be honest with you though, some of the ones he's hired lately scare me.
What's been going on?
Well, I don't know what they're up to, but it's no good, I'll tell you what. Just last night, Sheriff Newton had to come in and rouse a few of them for getting rowdy and hassling my girls.
I know. Hornswoggle's been getting pretty big for his britches of late, that's for sure. But don't worry, Annie. I'm praying for you, and I know things are going to be okay for all of us, including old Hornswoggle.
I just can't quite figure you and this family of yours out. No matter what happens, if you get to a bad turn, y'all just think praying will make things better.
Always has, Annie. You'll see. Sam, let's get some of that music going.
Out of my way, Maddie. Sheriff, arrest that man.
Slow down, Howard. What seems to be the trouble?
Ask him, Sheriff. Ask him where our cattle are. He's gone and went and rebranded them. All our spring calves have a double H on them. They're already down at the real head. All we got left is a winnow herd of old cows.
Your cattle, Howard. I'm sorry, I think you mean my cattle. I sold my cattle just this morning to a Chicago buyer. Why, here's my bill of sale, Sheriff. I think you will find that it's all in order.
I didn't realize you were in the cattle business, Hornswoggle.
Why, I can't say that any of the cattle Lyman took are yours, Miss Howard. Why, they just rounded up some cattle. As far as I know, free-range cattle belong to whoever has a brand on them.
Sheriff, is this so? Can you just take our cattle?
I'm afraid so, Miss Howard. Without a brand, there's no way to prove whose cattle is whose. Here in Frog Hollow, we've always been honest with each other. Everything seems to be in order.
What are we gonna do now? That's all we got. One swallow, I'll get you. It's the last thing I do.
What are we gonna do, Mom?
Mrs. Howard, it seems you find yourself in a bit of a strait. I may have a small proposition for you to be of interest at this time.
Mr. Hornswoggle, now is not the time.
Hear me out, Mrs. Howard. I'm planning very soon to find this to be an appropriate time to propose.
Mr. Hornswoggle, I do not
Hear
believe
me out,
that.
ma'am. Why, if we were married, there'd be no death between us. We'd be family.
Mr.
Now your
Hornswoggle.
answer, Mrs. Howard.
Mr. Hornswoggle,
I'll give you an answer, one swallow.
stop it.
Maddie, we're not marrying that man.
Let's hear from Mrs. Howard, shall we?
Well,
Remember, your choice could save your family.
Miss Howard, may I speak?
Mr. Naramore, I'm so sorry about all of this.
Ma'am, I told you earlier that I couldn't find any gold for you, but perhaps I can be of some help.
Mr. Naramore, unless you have the financial wherewithal to pay this debt, 3 days from now at 8 o'clock in the morning, this property will become mine. You do not appear to have that amount of money to me. I would expect your answer as well, Mrs. Howard, in 3 days. Felix!
Well, I don't have to tell you folks, we were just shocked. Old Horace had never been that bold before. The Howards were sure in the spot, and I'd say that was Worst 3 days this town's ever spent. Folks didn't know what was going to happen. But that young feller Jim, him and Miss Maddie had that meeting the next morning. And then Jim hired Sam's fastest horse and took off to the south.
I figured he decided to get while the getting was good. The Howards, well, they just sort of shut themselves up on that ranch. And then the big day. Why, I remember as if it was yesterday.
Good morning, Miss Joe, Miss Collins.
Good morning, Miss Maddie. It's good to see you all out and about.
Have you seen Mr. Dearmore this morning?
Not since he took off like a scalded dog the other day.
What time is it?
A few minutes till 8.
There's still time.
Would you like to sit down, Miss Howard?
Yeah, Mom. Why don't you sit? Me and Ruth can take care of this.
No, thank you, Miss Joe. I'd rather meet this head on.
Oh, good morning. I sure appreciate a customer's punctuality.
It isn't 8 o'clock yet, Hornswoggle.
Mr. Howard, why prolong the inevitable? Why? There's the morning mail, right on time, 8 o'clock.
Wait, I have it.
You've saved us! Mr. Hornswoggle, I'd like to make a deposit.
What is this?
That is a bank draft drawn on the First National Bank of New York City.
New York City?
I believe it will be enough to pay our mortgage in full and leave a tidy sum on deposit.
How is this possible?
You're right, Mr. Hornswoggle. I don't have any money. But the Howards didn't need me to provide for them. They had all they needed right there on their own land. I reckon now's a good time to tell you all what I've been doing up on the ridge. I'm not a prospector. I'm a geologist. A scientist that studies rocks and the earth. I told Miss Howard that I couldn't find any gold for her, but that my employer was quite interested in leasing some of the Howard property.
Leasing their property. What on earth?
Oil, ma'am.
Oil? Why haven't they done that nasty stuff? It just ruins good land.
Things have changed a bit since you've been out east, I guess. Anyone here heard of an automobile?
I have. Had a picture in the last newspaper we got in the store called a horseless carriage. Says they're stirring up quite a bit of trouble in Chicago. Horses are scared to death of the blame things.
That's right, Miss Joe. But it's the way of the future. Folks are taking to them like crazy, and they run on gasoline, a product made from oil. My company, Standard Oil, is paying attention to this business opportunity. I'm glad I was able to help y'all.
You are God's answer to prayer.
Oh, the answer.
Dan was right all along. The Lord did have plans for us on that land. Now, Mr. Hornswoggle, I have a mortgage to pay, and you have listened to me tell.
Make sure it's marked paid.
Yep, that was quite a day. Well, there you have it, folks. Just the way it happened. Oh, what's happened to everyone since then? I'm sorry, I'm always forgetting people are wanting to know. Now, let me see.
Maddie Pearl kept her land at home. Rue went off to school to become a veterinarian his brother always wanted. These days, they have themselves the finest herd of Angus beef this side of the Mississippi. And Rue sure has been coming around for a lot of apple pie for my Josephine these days.
Oh, hush, Ma. And then there's Sheriff Newton. Annie finally convinced him to settle down. And Annie and the girls got a change in their business.
Mercy, Jane, and Cleo gave up on being desperate and hired on as roughnecks on the Bar H drilling rigs. I hear Jim has his hands a bit full keeping them in line.
And speaking of Jim, he decided to stay on and supervise the new oil drilling operation. Well, I suppose you can guess that him and Maddie eventually became sweethearts. And Dan Jr. found himself a new friend. Why, we're planning a spring wedding for those two.
Ida Crump disbanded her army since Annie made a change in the business, and her girls now have jobs at the bank as tellers. And Felix has some well-deserved help. And Hornswoggle, well, you might just say he got what he had coming to him as well.
Now, Felix, you go have yourself a nice little lunch. I know that everything will be perfectly in order with you in charge while we are away in Chicago. I went along. Horace! Horace! Here, Hornswoggle! Hurry up or we are going to miss that train!
Oh, I'm coming there.
quiet and be